AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Taylor Sharp. You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Doug Thompson in 15 minutes from right now. Former Tiger pitcher, LSU Sports Radio Network. Tigers and Tech tonight from the box. We are expecting very likely some lineup changes for the Tigers tonight. We'll talk about that with the Duggar coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Lane Kiffin put his first LSU team through their first workout of spring on Tuesday. Was there, kind of gave you a quick practice recap report of note. Sam Levitt was participating, limited, but participating. Whit Weeks, present, not participating, just out there wearing his jersey and walking around. Lane Kiffin didn't want to answer the question about other absences or players that were limited, something I'm sure that'll reveal itself as they continue to move throughout spring. He did say, however, that one of the reasons they waited to start spring later was to let some of those guys, maybe who had injuries or surgeries, to get healed so they could maybe get better and participate in spring a bit. But the thing that was sort of a familiar chorus throughout this press conference with Lane Kiffin, who met with reporters after practice, was about year one expectations. And it was something that Lane sort of consistently referenced in an indirect way, but he was asked what his expectations are for year one as the LSU coach. This is what he said.
The expectations can be really scary, so we don't really look at it that way. We don't have goals and say, okay, we need to have this many wins or playoffs. Like we don't talk that way, because that's really outcome based, not process based, and a lot of those things are determined by things out of your control, and that's not easy. I was actually sitting there during an offensive meeting today, and Charlie was up here running it, and I looked up there. I don't know how good my math is, but in 18 years, only 3 times has this program been to New Year's 6 games. It's a hard thing to do, so I don't set, hey, this is what we need to do year one, because that really doesn't matter. It's much more about the day-to-day process and always trying to find a way to improve our players and coach better and get them to the highest level.
I think that guy is so calculated and smart. He is, I think, probably a little uncomfortable in a press conference. I think we can all see that, right? Maybe socially. He's spoken to that even. That like what he does on social media is more of a way for his personality to show and to connect with recruits and their families. But I think everything you hear from people who cover him at Ole Miss, who know him well, will say that maybe a little like socially awkward. I can't, again, I don't know Lane Kiffin. Like today when I asked a question, I identified myself and my affiliation, because I don't know that he knows me. He follows me on Twitter now, but we've never, I've interviewed him in press conferences, talk, briefly media days, but we don't go play pickleball. He don't know me. So everything that I'm learning, like you all are, about him, But did you hear where he said, I was in the meeting and Charlie was leading it, and I looked up here and saw 3 New Year's Six games in 18 years? I don't think I'm reading too much into this. I think it was not a dismissive, subtle thing by Lane Kiffin saying we're in an offensive meeting and Charlie was leading it. I think it is important for him to let everybody know Charlie Weiss's influence on the offense. One of my observations at practice today was when I went over and watched the offense, Charlie Weiss and Dane Stevens were the ones working with the quarterbacks. Lane Kiffin was standing like they were standing around the 10-yard line, throwing upfield, basically. So standing at the 10, throwing like toward midfield. Lane Kiffin was 30 yards downfield, standing in the middle of the field watching. And it's not to say he's not doing anything. I think that's actually a really good characteristic of a leader in any organization. Hire good people, hands off, let them do their job. Get involved when they're not doing their job. But I think it was important what Lane said there. Charlie was leading the meeting. And then he said, I looked up there, and if you've never been in the LSU team room, it's where the press conferences are. And up, it's a tall ceiling room, your big auditorium style. And they have LSU's accolades, right? They've got the national champion years, and they've got, like the marquee bowls, the New Year's Six bowl years and stuff like that as well, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta, everything. And so that's what he's referring to looking up there, is like where all that stuff is listed on the, at the top of the room. And said, this program's only been to 3 New Year's Six games in 18 years. And I don't think that was a knock. I think that's him saying, look, all the stuff, the just different and everything's why he's here. And even here with all the resources, I mean, the 2010 season Cotton Bowl, the 2018 season Fiesta Bowl, and then the 2019 season with the semifinal and the championship game. Like 3 years. That's it. That you've been to the New Year's Six. So I look at that and go, I guess 2011 you played in the championship game. So that wasn't necessarily a New Year's Six. I don't know when his math was starting. But all that to say, I think he was listening to that and or looking at that and in a way saying, hey, have great expectations because it's LSU and you should have great expectations, but also be realistic in what has been the norm here. And it's something I always have this conversation with when I do interviews in other places because the expectations at LSU are a certain thing, but you remind people if you look at the last 20 years, the average win total for an LSU season is like 8 wins. That's the average. You have every half decade or so, you'll pop a big one, but you just went 7 and 6. So I think that's something that he's probably keeping top of mind. Not saying don't hold me to a high standard, but just to say that, remember, it ain't always been that way every year. He's coached against LSU the last half decade. I thought it was also really interesting how since Lane Kiffin was hired, he has been very visible in a way that has caused everyone here to embrace him. Endymion, St. Patty's Day Parade, so on stage with Boosie, after St. Patty's Day this past weekend. He's at court to table playing pickleball all the time, restaurants, coffee shops. He's been around town, right? And I think it was important, for him to point out as well that you shouldn't be confused by all of that you see on social media.
I thought our guys' energy level was high. I thought their excitement was there. Now we have a lot of work to do. I said that the first day that we got here, and now that we're into practice format, things don't happen overnight. So we're making some first steps, but there's a ton of work to do. And like I said before, we've assembled a good roster, but at the same time too, there's a ton of work that goes into that to get program back up to where everybody around here wants it to be. And why the reason that we came here, it was 7 and 6 last season. So within that comes change. Within that comes a lot of work, because that's a long jump to go to the level that I came here to get at and all the people around the program want to be at.
I think that's the wrong cut, actually. I think it's number 3. Go ahead and play number 3, please.
There's a lot into that, especially offensively, a new system coming in, and then a ton of movement from the previous roster, whether it was leaving or whether it was going off to the NFL with a number of good players that left. So we got to come in and we spend a lot of time. I kind of said to Michael walking down, guys, don't mistake because, you see me doing things around the community or parade or Mardi Gras or concert, that there isn't relentless pursuit at greatness here in effort and the way that we work and the amount of time spent in this office. And that, in my opinion, that's the only way to do it. And it's especially the only way to do it nowadays because you have to do so much so fast with so many new pieces. And like you mentioned, offensively, all the new coaches coming in, all the new players were defensively. There's a number of carryover and a number of coaches and scheme being the same.
Yeah, no need for an explanation. We see the coffee tweets at 5 a.m. We know. I mean, it's because he puts things out there so publicly, which is amazing. It's great. We know he's working. It's actually kind of amazing that he's able to find time to have a social life because of all that he's working and getting LSU back to that point. So it is going to be a fascinating ride in test case, man. As if it isn't already evident. But they're off and running now for all of the fanfare, for the quite literal parades that have been thrown. Now it's on to football. And this is just a small 15 practice sample size of an introduction. It's the appetizer. And I'm going to be fascinated, though, to watch how this continues to develop. So 1 practice in the book, 14 to go. They'll be back out there on Thursday with media availability. And we can talk to players on Thursday after practice, so we'll look forward to that. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. Powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Quick break. Doug Thompson next on AFR.
After Further Review.
Right about Watermark and Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Watermark, voted by you the best hotel and the best of 225. Have you been to Watermark Baton Rouge? Man, I work downtown. We're sitting in a studio here on Government Street in downtown. So Watermark is just, it's at the corner of 3rd and Convention. It's just a few blocks from where we are. But Saturday I was downtown to MC the Buddy Walk, and I drove right by Watermark. And it's just a reminder, whether you're pulling up to the front at the Valet on Convention, or on 3rd Street where there's the entrance via Milford's on 3rd, which is the more casual sandwich shop. You can go through the lobby as well, but it doesn't matter what experience you want to have. Listen, if you're hosting an event, there's no better place. I tell you all the time, call Allison Crump. She's the event coordinator for Watermark and Renaissance. You want a wedding reception, board meeting, 40th birthday party, whatever, anniversary parties, any event you have, you can host it there. But my goodness, what an amazing place. Beautiful downtown Baton Rouge. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
After Further Review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
They be like, Smooth, what? Can you teach me how to Dougie? You know why? Because all the girls love me. Hey, all I need is a big super bumping, and for you.
We should have Doug on the show more just so we can play Teach Me How to Dougie. I don't even want to talk baseball. I just want to listen to this song. And if we're being quite honest, that might be more entertaining than talking baseball right now. All right, Doug Thompson, former Tiger great, LSU Sports Radio Network. Duggar, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Matthew?
I'm doing really good. Yeah, man. I feel like I talk to you all the time because I listen to you on the radio all the time. So, but it's great to hear you. We're glad to have you with us. Jay Johnson said after the series on Saturday and again on his radio show that likely to expect changes. I'll just leave it open. What do you think that means?
I mean, the personnel changes, some shifts in where some guys hit the lineup, maybe some different roles for pitchers. It could mean, obviously, it could mean a million different things. It could mean the way that they're doing some things at practice, some of the fundamental stuff he talked about. I heard him say we've got to, one-run games are what this season is going to be about for us, and we've got to get better at winning those games. So, look, there's frustration, obviously, and in baseball, I know people hate this, But sometimes it's just really tough to win, and you get caught in a rut, and you almost find a way to lose, different ways to lose every night. But the truth is that you can lose 16, 17, 18, maybe even as many as 20 games and still win the College World Series. And in today's world of the portal and all these different things, like, how do we know?
We know, how many games, what this is going to end up looking like in terms of the championship team. It looks to me like, anybody can beat anybody. Look at the SEC rankings. Like, it's just everybody's, with the top of the league is 4-2 after 6 games. And the bottom is 1-5. I mean, it's just, it looks like it's just going to be one of those bloodbath type of years. And we're still learning on what the transfer portal means in terms of what we can expect from players that are coming in. They're not always going to be home runs. They're just not.
For sure. If I ask a more direct question, Doug, is there a player that you would like to see get a shot, maybe start, get some ABs?
No, not necessarily. Like,
all right, let me ask.
There's not.
Let me ask
there's
you.
not necessarily someone that I don't think hasn't had opportunity necessarily.
So let me ask.
I feel like everyone's had opportunities.
So the one guy is one that Jay mentioned, who's William Patrick, and I just don't know a lot about him. I know he was a high school shortstop. They brought him here as an outfielder. Says he's a great athlete. It sounds like Jay's going to maybe give him a crack, and I don't know much what that would entail. Have you got to see him? What do you think about the possibility of William Patrick getting a little run?
The only thing I know is I saw him in the postseason, and I think I was talking to Josh Jordan about him, and like, he's supposed to be the future shortstop, right? Like, when Milam's gone, he's supposed to be the guy to step in. So does Jay get him in there and get him some opportunities? That would be one, Matt. That would be one kid that we haven't seen very much of so far. That maybe that's one that he's talking about when he says changes. But I mean, did he say personnel changes, or he said there's just going to be some changes? Well,
he mentioned after the game on Saturday, he mentioned William Patrick by name. So that's why I think it's going to be really interesting to see, if he gets some run, what does that look like? The other thing too, Duggar, is, man, it's Casey Evans is great, and William Schmidt's still been really good, but you lose Cooper Moore. It sounds like maybe for a month. As a pitcher, first of all, when you hear what Jay was talking about, right, like the soreness and the inflammation needs to go down, can you sort of explain what that feels like for a pitcher, like what he might be dealing with physically?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain pain that you can throw through, a little Advil, a little heat before the game. There's ways that you can get ready through some pain, but then there's certain things that you can't. Like, you're not the same. You can't pitch when every pitch hurts. I mean, you're not going to be very effective. So, and unfortunately, pitching, like, it's not always about the elbow or the shoulder. It could be the back or the hamstring. I mean, you're just using every muscle in your body to throw that pitch. So, it's just, you have to be 100%. There can't be any kind of, any inflammation or swelling or anything that kind of bothers you, when you're out there on the mound. So I think the good news is just his return, because if this happened, last weekend of the SEC, it would be just devastating. Yeah. Because he really is. When you talk about portal wins, that kid can pitch, and he can pitch at any level. So I think that's the silver lining, is that there's a chance that he actually returns before, while we're still in the thick of the SEC.
Doug Thompson's with us at DT9 Tiger. So, Doug, you get stuck. I think you said stuck in a rut, and it's a good way to put it. Sometimes you tend to default to the negative. Casey Evans was absolutely incredible. Give me a reason why you think that might be replicable. I don't necessarily mean, Doug, that he's going to go 7 2/3 and strike out 15. But like the guy we saw against Oklahoma might be more of the guy we see instead of what we saw against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, he was surfing around 68 to 72% strikes. I mean, and I've said on the radio many times, when we lose a game and walk less than 4, like, I'm good with it, because But when it's more than 4 or 5 walks, like our pitchers have they all have too good of stuff to walk, more than 4 or 5 people. And when Casey Evans goes out there and does that, gets ahead of batters and throws in the 70 percentile strikes, he's that guy. So for him, it's just about strikes. But that was one of the best performances. That was Paul Skeens like. Like you don't see many guys go out there and punch out 15 very often. Right? It just doesn't happen that often. And it's amazing how good he looked. I wasn't sure how he was going to be getting deep into the game, but he certainly answered some questions for me and looked every bit like that frontline Friday night SEC starter this last time out against Oklahoma.
He looks so good, man.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it really was.
What do you think? The last couple outings, we've also seen Zach Cowan seemingly find it. After first 3-4 outings this season were a little rough. Are you noticing anything different there?
Yeah, I think Zach Cowan may throw a little too many strikes, and that changeup became a little more predictable. People knew that was his thing, and they were kind of sitting on that early on, and they got some good swings on some pitches. He's a pitcher. Like he's a guy that goes out with his paint can and locates where he wants to locate. Changeup is a plus changeup. So, and forget all that. Like it's the innings under his belt for me. Like he obviously pitched in, when he was in Wofford in the big regional at Chapel Hill and won a big game or two. And then last year in Omaha. Without him, I don't know that we win the College World Series. So for me, he's got to be a part of it just because of that. Like he's just got so many innings under his belt, and that changeup is just devastating.
You're spot on about the College World Series after the disappointing performance against, I guess against Little Rock when Evans came in and sort of saved the day. I mean, Cowan was crucial. To advancing in the College World Series. All right, Doug Thompson's with us, LSU Sports Radio Network, former Tiger, great. LSU and Louisiana Tech tonight. Are you going to be on the call tonight, Duggar?
I am. I'm actually turning on to, it's not Skip Burtman Drive. It should be Skip Burtman Drive, but I'm turning into the box right now.
It's weird that, can they rezone?
Can we switch it? Can we go back to the South Stadium and all the way to and then just turn this one into Skip Burtman? I think there should be some petition at some point.
Because it's gorier, right?
It's gorier, right.
Where it crosses.
Which turns into Burbank, which turns into...
Burbank, which goes into becomes Seagan way at the other end of the thing at the place with the guy and the stuff, because that's how we
there's
do
some
road
charm to the Skip Burtman Drive being where the old Alec Box was. I mean, there's some charm. It's just that's a grocery store,
I love you so much. IOISM. I can't believe I just said that. I can't believe I said that. I don't care. I'm very secure. I do love you. All right, last thing. Give me something to watch tonight, Duggar, in the game.
Well, honestly, if you look at the numbers, it's two pretty evenly matched team. A couple teams sitting close to 270, 285, something like that. And their ERAs are also very similar. And you can look for La Tech to come here with full fury and guns a-blazing, like in-state schools always do. And they're going to give LSU all that they want. They'll bring in their, they expect them to bring in their ace to close the game out if it's a close game, and all of the things, right? That's what we're going to face off against tonight with these kids. And then on our side, I think Reagan Ricken's going to toe the rubber for the Tigers. Okay. And what I'm really hopeful for, Matt, I'm hopeful. I want to see LSU score a bunch of runs tonight. Like, I want to see this offense kind of come out tonight or come out of this, I guess. It just seems like right now runs are really tough to come by. And I would like to see a night where this offense has some success up and down and scores a bunch of runs. And maybe that'll be what gets them back on track for this, upcoming series against a Kentucky team that's been playing pretty good baseball this year.
Yeah. Duggar pitching staff gave up 9 runs in 3 games, and they lost the series. That's
wow.
Against Oklahoma.
Wow.
I mean,
I know.
It's crazy.
No, I know. It's just, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy game. It'll drive you crazy if you let it. And right now, it's a very difficult time for LSU baseball fans, staff, players. But look, the 1998 team, right? We talk about all the championship team, 96 and 97, back-to-back national championships. In 1998, everybody thought, okay, this one, we're going to win it again, right? We were primed to, and we started that year, I want to say 5-6 or 6-5, like it wasn't good. And we were in a rut, and we couldn't score, and we didn't have a lot of synergy. And I'm afraid that in some cases in this new era of baseball, there's going to take more. Some teams are going to take more times than others to find their 9 best. Coach Berman would say my 9 best and not my best 9, because there's all new faces, and who's going to really be able to perform in those big moments. I just think that every year now with new faces, there could very well be years where teams don't start clicking until midway through the SEC, and that may be what we're gonna see with this team, which obviously we hope, right, is that they start clicking here pretty soon. But I know this: we've got the right guy at the front, and Jay Johnson has proven that. 2 out of 3 of the last 3 years national championships. If there's anybody out there that can get things pointed in the right direction, it's him and his staff. I have full confidence in that. I wouldn't just quite yet give up on this LSU Tigers team because, like you said, Matt, let's focus on some of the positive things like Kason Evans showing up like he did this last week. Yeah, we lost Cooper Moore, but the truth is someone's going to have to step up and fill that gap. And maybe that'll develop another starter for us as we get deeper into the season. You just never know how things are going to play out. I don't think anybody would have thought LSU would be 16-9 at this point after the first 12, 13 games of the season. So you never know what's going to happen coming down the stretch. But again, Jay Johnson's the right man for the job, and I have full confidence in him that he'll get the very best out of this team.
Doug, the LSU social media, they always put out a post about who has the aux cord, like you send the playlist tonight out at the box.
Right.
William Patrick. I think that's a sign, right? I mean, it's got to be.
Oh,
right?
Wow. Interesting.
By the way, how about
guys,
here's his 5 songs. Matchbox 3 a.m. by Matchbox 20. What You Need by Don Tolliver. Don't know that one. Use Somebody, Kings of Leon. Under the Bridge by the Chili Peppers. And then All Summer Long by Kid Rock. I mean, is William Patrick a freshman at LSU, or is he my 43-year-old best friend?
Seriously, my college roommate.
Right?
You know what I mean? Like, wow, what a great mix. I mean, already a William Patrick fan after hearing that news. I mean, what a great mix of music you just named off there.
Muse, can you get us What You Need by Don Tolliver? Do you know that song, Duggar?
Can I hear it? Can you give it to me for a second?
Well, I just asked Musso to pull it up if you can. What You Need by Don Tolliver is the name of the song. See if Muse can grab that for you. I know all the other ones, though. Saw Kings of Leon at Jazz Fest back in like 08 or something like that, 09-ish. Is this it? You got it? Yeah, hit it, Muse. Let's hear it.
Hold on.
Let me get it.
Got a little
all right.
Got a little ad that we have to fight through here. Sorry about that.
Pay for the subscription. Come on. Let's just pay for it.
All right, here it is. Can you skip ahead a little bit? This explains why I'll know it. Yep, got it. This is the new song on the list. I mean, everything else is the last. I think he represented like the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s, and then now he's got the 2020s.
Yeah, and I just got to be honest. I feel like my dad, but I'm just not a big fan of the 2020 music these days. It's just not the same anymore.
No kidding.
Yeah, feel just like my dad
well,
back in 1986. Yeah. When I was like listening to Motley Crue, like, Dad, you don't like this, and he thought I was stupid for listening to it. Yeah, that's how I feel about today's music. God, that makes me feel old.
I'm not a big fan of the Crew, but I do like "Kickstart My Heart." That's a great jam. I love that one.
Dr. Fielding. Really? Wow.
I think the 80s are the worst music decade ever. I think it is.
No, I'm with you. I'm certainly more of a Pearl Jam guy, but just feel like an old man listening to music these days.
Yeah. Doug Thompson, listen to him on the radio tonight. He and Chris Blair will be on the call on the LSU Sports Radio Network, our sister station, Eagle 98.1. Thank you, Duggar.
God bless y'all. Thanks for having me, Matthew.
All right, man. We'll see you. That's Doug Thompson. It is AFR.
After further review.
Got a text just yesterday from Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Time for me to go for my blood draw. So every 6 months, if you're on HRT, you're going to get your blood labs checked every 6 months, just to make sure you're just monitoring everything to make sure everything looks as it should. So I'll be going in Thursday for my blood labs over at Goodwood. The thing I want to remind you is if you are currently on HRT at a different clinic, remember, not only does Goodwood have the lowest prices, never any contracts, you're never going to pay a membership fee or anything like that. Also, they pay for your blood labs. They don't pass that charge on to you. So if you're currently paying every 6 months for your blood labs, why not switch to Goodwood? Best prices, best service, never any contracts. They pay for your blood labs. They're convenient. They'll ship your meds. YourGoodwood.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Well, she ain't into cars or pickup trucks, but if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor's sexy.
We always appreciate Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Get on by, check out the newest location right there on Pico, the new Pico exit in Baton Rouge. If you're driving, if you're going west on I-10 from Highland, towards Seagan, it's on the right at the Pico exit. You can't miss it. Literally just turn your head and you'll go, oh, there it is. Massive. It's a beautiful store. Go check it out. Sunequip.com, sunequip.com. Let's see. Do we have a lineup yet? Let me see.
No, it's not posted yet.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on it. If you missed anything today, make sure you check out AFR On Demand Podcast, YouTube. We did a ton of LSU football. First practice, we led off the show with the practice report. We talked a lot. We let you hear a lot of what Lane Kiffin had to say about the first day of practice, the offseason, updates on the quarterbacks, all that stuff. We talked a little bit about Jordan Seaton, and one of the things I don't think, if I have one disappointment today, it's not any reason for anything. It's just I'm really interested in seeing the offensive line in spring. I don't know what we really would have seen day one, but because of the way we were positioned on the field, we just couldn't see the offensive linemen doing their individual work. So I can't give you any type of reaction to any of that. But Lane Kiffin did talk about Eric Wolford and then James Craig, of course, sort of as co-offensive line coaches, however you want to say it. And Wolford's offensive line coach, Craig, who's the former offensive line coach, is back. You all know that story is there. Here was what Lane said about those two guys.
I love the combination of those two guys because Eric's done a lot of really good things and coached a lot of good places and some tough offensive line. And James has done a great job at a number of places, especially here, and familiar with our system. So combining those two is really unique to have that. When recruits come in, talk about here's two elite line coaches, both have been in the NFL, and so that's a great situation to be there. And that's good timing because there is so much work to do there.
And but by the way, it is going to be fascinating to see how all of this develops with this coaching staff. We talked about it a bit last week, but remember, there's 77. Isn't that the count? We got to 77 staff members for football. Now, not all of them are on field. There's GM Billy Glasscock. There's a lot of front office personnel, but 77 football staff members. I mean, it's how all of the coaches and analysts and everybody works together actually on field, I think is going to be a really interesting thing to watch to whatever degree we get to see how that plays out. But we also have a change that we see out there at running back coach with Kevin Smith taking over for Frank Wilson. I did post a video on my socials earlier today. If you want to go check it out, you can see it. But we just happened to be standing in the end zone where Kevin Smith was leading the running backs to a gauntlet drill, a ball security drill. And by the way, he looks like he can still go. I mean, he's still, I think maybe a few years younger than me. He's probably about 40 or so, but still is put together and looks like he can go. But that's a change. And we're certainly looking for LSU to improve in the running game, where they were last in the SEC, or last or second to last in the SEC each of the last 2 years. And the offensive line and the running back group need to improve. And Lane kind of talked a little bit about Kevin Smith.
I love his story of being such a great player. I think he's the all-time rushing leader in the state of Florida from college. Then kind of had his NFL career that was okay, and then, went through some things. And so I love his kind of comeback story with that and how he now has turned everything into his kids, like investing in the players and helping them. And since we gave him really his first full-time job at FAU, and then we had Devin Singletary that led the country in rushing and touchdowns there, and then, to have Quinn Shawn and then the previous running back last year. So he's done a really great job with guys, and he's easy to recruit to because of that, and he's very intense out there.
He is intense. Unafraid of being honest with his guys. That much is evident after one practice. But that group looks good. I'll tell you, Dylan Jones, the transfer from Wisconsin, is, I think, the guy that probably just physically stands out the most. He wears number 13. He's listed at 5'11", I think 206 or something. Well, hang on. They got him at 5. He's 5'11", 211 is what they have him listed at. And he's put together, man. You're looking for who might be the physical between the tackles runner, that guy. And sometimes you can tell before they put on pads, because when you could see it in someone's build without pads on, it's a little more evident. It's evident with Dylan Jones. He just looks different than the other guys out there. But one day in the books for Lane Kiffin there in spring. 14 more to go. They'll be back out there on Thursday, and we do have media availability Thursday, then again on Saturday. So as much as they give us access, we'll certainly keep you up to date throughout all of it here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and, of course, over at LouisianaSports.net, where everything is free. So LouisianaSports.net, check out the website if you haven't done it yet. Bookmark it and make it a daily stop over at LouisianaSports.net. All right, it's After Further Review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here. Let me knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here. I do want to remind you about Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, ARCCO. We tell you about Arco Power Systems. What they do over at Arco is industrial Generac generator power. Whereas you hear all the time about generators for your home standby generators, this is a standby generator for your business. And they can come install that standby generator for your business, or they can have it on standby. They will rent you a generator. So you can have yours maybe stored at their yard. Storm comes, power's out. They'll dispatch you. You can go pick it up, get it to you. So many different options. And while home base is here in Baton Rouge, they have offices all over the Gulf South. Go north to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio. Draw a big circle. Boom. Anywhere in that footprint, our friends at Arco Power Systems can serve you. Such an impressive operation when you go by and see it and talk to the folks over at Arco Power Systems. And quite literally, when storms come, the National Guard will chopper in and pick up their installers and bring them to sites to go get them back online. It's incredible. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out our final break. We'll come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. Find out what we're betting on tonight. We do have some NIT plays. Remember, you can always get those at LouisianaSports.net as well. Stick around with us. Final break of AFR.
AFR.
Man, a beautiful day. Sunshiny, beautiful, and 81 degrees, and we just keep churning out these beautiful spring days. It's that time of year, so it is a great time if you're going to be enjoying your outdoor spaces to make sure you get by Clegg's Nursery, where they can help upgrade your outdoor space. You want to add that pop of color to your flower bed or your patio pots? Clegg's can help you do it. You want to plant a fruit tree? Clegg's can help you do it. How about that? Something you get enjoyment out of literally for generations. Johnny Naylor Seeds. You want to plant a vegetable garden with your kids? Watch those vegetables grow. Have true farm-to-table or garden-to-table vegetables. Fresh vegetables at your home? Clegg's Nursery can help make it happen. Get by any of their 4 locations. You know where they are. Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. I always encourage you as well to check out the Clegg's Facebook page. They do a great job whenever they get a new shipment of something arriving. They post it there at their Facebook page. So buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery. AFR is brought to you by River Parish Contractors, rpcontractors.com. That's the website. rpcontractors.com. Great people. It's one of the things that whenever we talk about River Parish Contractors is pretty cool that I get to tell you about, because I get to tell you, call and ask for Ronnie. Call and ask for Chad or Luke or Trey or Josh or Darren or Drew. And, when I got to go over to River Parish Contractors the first time and I got to meet their amazing team, you realize, yeah, they're an awesome company that's done great work for 25 years, but it's the people behind what they do that build those personal relationships. That's the best part about working with River Parish Contractors. Yes, the work they do is amazing. You can learn more about it. You can go visit the shop in Reserve or learn more online at rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here. Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine. Oh, Tiger Woods. I don't know why this popped up on my Twitter. ESPN posted this video of Tiger Woods hitting into a golf simulator. I mean, he's got a leg sleeve on his right leg, but Tiger Woods hitting a golf ball. Muse, you excited? Tiger Woods winning the Masters this year?
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah,
it's going to be fantastic. He's playing in the TGL finals tonight. That's why that's on your screen.
I don't even know what that is. All right, let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks. He'll know.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, we got some action on the TGL finals.
You got to see Max for that.
I was waiting for your even I have standards line.
Yes.
Which no, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. First,
what are we looking at?
First half line on UConn Syracuse women. I'm out.
Okay.
Give Gino some credit. He took his foot off the gas last night. So, my goodness. So, man, well, we stopped the non-game winning streak with the Lakers, 50-50 game. So we stopped that one. And the one that killed a money line alt line parlay, rather. We started a new win streak. The Pacers had lost 16 in a row until last night. So there you go. We're the streak stoppers. So we go to the NIT, the National Invitational Tournament. So when in doubt, take the point. So Wichita State is on the road tonight. We are going to roll with the Shockers. They rolled on the road. Speaking of which, I think that was Sunday. Won by like 14 or 16. So Ace Seminara, our veteran handicapper from New York, he came with that as well on the show today, one of his complimentary picks. And then late tonight, let's go to the Pit. We were at the Pit for the LSU Sweet 16 loss to the Wisconsin Badgers after they beat Texas in Salt Lake City. But anyway, New Mexico, that's a big number at home. So we are going to take the Hawks. You ever see the Hawk in the corner?
Flaps his arms the whole game.
The wings,
yep.
Flapping the wings.
My guy Langston Galloway, former St. Joe's Hawk.
Yes.
So I talked about that with Langston, if that ever weirded him out, just sitting there like the whole game. if you don't know the Hawk mascot for St. Joe's, his thing is he flaps his wings the entire game. Like, like the A&M student section stands the whole game, the Hawk flaps its wings the entire game.
A past contributor, host, Ronnie Rance is with him. It's our buddy John S. who was always clowning. He got the Hawk on the air one time.
Okay.
And I talked about his workout regimen, so he can do that the whole time. So
the mascot spoke.
Yes, he spoke. He did. We got him to speak. But he did not divulge his appearance. So we still don't know what he looks like. But we're going with St. Joe's, the Hawks. The cupboard is bare. Opening day in Major League Baseball tomorrow night as well. Your Yankees on the road against San Francisco to open up in 2026. We used to start on the championship Monday. They would all start Cincinnati first and play a bunch of day games and a few afternoon before the national championship. Now we're starting before the Sweet 16. So there you go. Enjoy this year because it's likely to have a work stoppage next season. So they are far apart.
Look forward to that. Always a ray of sunshine. Thank you, Otter. Where are you tomorrow?
That's my role. Roca. I'm talking about a ray of sunshine. Roca Pizzeria. Yes, indeed, on Government Street in Mid-City.
Great spot. Get on by and see the guys for lunch tomorrow. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, thanks, man. We appreciate it. It's after further review. He's reminding you about Roca, but I'm reminding you about Supper Club. Different spots. You want to go see Otter and Handy for lunch, do it. But dinner is Supper Club. tonight, they're back open. SupperClubBTR.com. If you don't have a reservation, no worries. Hear it often. Matt, love to go to Supper Club. Don't have a reservation. Okay, cool. Walk-ins are welcome. Open seating at the bar. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. So pop on in tonight after work. Instead of going home, go to Supper Club. You know, I need to call Chef Layton, too, because we shared this with you last week. They got a Sagrera cow that was an 18 on the IMF meter. 18. Prime starts at 9. This is double prime. And it's there while it's there. And when they've sold it out, it's gone. So you might want to call over and see. I mean, if you are a steak nerd like I am, I mean, something you may literally never have the opportunity to try that again. You don't buy Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Get your reservations there. Pop on in. You don't have a sport coat, don't worry. You don't need one. I love to throw on a sport coat when I go to Supper Club, but all you need is a collar to meet the dress code. So it's all there on the website. Check it out. SupperClubBTR.com. Have the best dining experience of your life. SupperClubBTR.com. That's Supper Club. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Just about done here. We're going to get on out of here. Tomorrow on the show, we will obviously recap the LSU baseball game tonight. And, you know, something I'll be interested in is just when eventually LSU will make some announcement about the future of the basketball program. And it feels like, you know, that's got to come to a head here soon. So if and as that continues to develop, we'll certainly talk about it here on AFR as well. All right, just about going to do it for us. You missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Gall. Thanks to Shea Dixon in Hour 1, Tech head coach Sonny Cumbie. Guys got jokes. Talked about playing a 20-game schedule this year. How good that's going to be. Doug Thompson just a bit ago. If you missed anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Gall. Muse, Taylor, thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. See you back here tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Getting on down the road, remind you about First South Farm Credit. Thinking of buying land? Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. So go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. On the homepage of the website, you'll see the Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. That is an amazing resource. It's a free resource as well. So, look, a lot of people that buy land already own land. So take the equity you have in your current property, roll it into your to help buy that new property. But if you go to the website, you see that Ultimate Recreational Land Buying Guide. That's a great resource to start if you're buying land for the first time and you want to learn about that process. So go to the website. It's on the homepage, free resource. Highly recommend you go check that out. Just click the link there on the homepage and you see all the info there. But the bottom line is, listen, since 1916, 110 years, 110 years, First South Farm Credit's done one thing: help Louisianians buy land. If you need that loan to buy land, you need First South Farm Credit. So go to firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com.